Welcome back to my channel. My name is Melina. I'm trying a little bit of a different filming setup. My tripod doesn't quite go high enough. Like if I stand up, I'm like this tall, so I'm doing this like super cool like straddle thing. We'll see how this goes. But anyway, today's video is going to be my favorite books by genre generally. So I find picking one specific book really hard, and so I kind of cheated. So anyway, let's get into it. Alright, so starting, I look so pale. I'm by a window, I'm trying to do the natural light thing, and it is winter, so that's why I'm pale. But okay, starting with young adults. I read this one and I just thought it was a very interesting, unique take. It's To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I feel like this is one that's talked about fairly frequently on BookTube, so you may have heard of it. But basically, Laura Jean keeps her love letters in a hat box her mother gave her. They're not supposed to be for anyone else, and then they accidentally get mailed. So she now has to deal with repercussions of that, and it's just a very unique take. I'd never heard of a book with that general plot, which is kind of hard to find these days. So very good book. I will probably eventually read the sequels to this, but I have not yet. So next up, I don't really know what category this would fall in, so this is my miscellaneous category. It's called The Little Paris Bookshop by Nina George. This is a book for people who love books. Essentially, the guy owns a floating bookshop. It's like on a boat, and he calls it like the book apothecary, and his whole shtick is people come on there and he like prescribes them a book so that can help with the situation they are in their life. And he goes on this big adventure, and it was just a really good book. And you know, I love Paris and I love books, so that's kind of why I initially picked it up, but it's far beyond that. If you have a minute, I highly recommend. Next, I have in the romance category. I read romance novels when I need to turn my brain off and to kind of relax, and Under Lock is one that is very well written. I really like it. It's by Mariana Zapata, and she's probably one of my favorite authors, just generally. She writes really well, and she is queen of the slow burn. So if you like kind of a slow build-up, it's a lot more than like, ooh, I like a boy and now we're in love. Like there's so much plot to it. And this one, I just really like it. And of course, this one my sister bought me for my birthday, and it's signed, which is very exciting. But I'd have to say this is probably my favorite, or at least at the moment, my favorite romance. Next, we have autobiographies. The great Tim Howard. I love this man. I played goalkeeper through college, and Tim Howard has Tourette's and OCD, and he has played professionally for years, but beyond that, he's a good person. He like is active in the community, and he is a good dad. He like gave up a career in Europe to come back and play in the US, which is not nearly as good, so that he could be closer with his kids. And he's an impressive person, an amazing player. He stays true to what he believes in, and the second I saw he was coming out with a book, I jumped on that. And this is a signed first edition, which I'm just like so pumped that I'm holding like a piece of paper that Tim Howard touched. But all in all, it's a really good biography. It's like a story of triumph, coming from nothing, and just pushing through and following your passions. Really good book, even if you don't like soccer. Recommend. Next, in the murder mystery category, I have The Monogram Murders by Sophie Hannah, and it's based on characters by Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot, I'm not French, I don't know, and I just thought it was really interesting. I've been wanting to get more into Agatha Christie, into Sherlock Holmes. I just bought a Sherlock Holmes, I think you might be able to say it, it's a Great Bear, and I'm planning on reading that, but I haven't yet. But this was just, it was so good. It was so interesting. It flew by. This was one of the books I picked up in Portugal on my honeymoon, and if you're looking for a good murder mystery that's not like too sad and graphic and awful, because sometimes murder mysteries get like a little bit too dark. I know they're a murder, but like, I don't know. This was just well written, and I really liked it. It had a lot of twists and turns, and it was really hard to guess the ending, so recommend. Next, in the psychological thriller, because I made up the category so I get to do what I want, I have The Girl on the Train. I initially picked this up because I had just read Gone Girl, and I liked it, and this was like advertised as, if you liked Gone Girl, try this one. And I like this one better because it's so much in your head, like you have no idea what's happening the whole time. And bonus, I read this when I was traveling around Barcelona for work, so I was constantly on a train, so I was the girl on the train reading The Girl on the Train, and I thought that was funny. So, but it's a really good book, and it does mess with your head a little bit, so psychological thriller, but check it out if you haven't. It's a pretty popular one. A lot of people have read it, but I actually have not seen the movie. So let me know if you've seen the movie. Was it good? Should I see it? I don't know. Is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. I've seen his Grave, which was really cool. I know that sounds weird, but I was really excited about it. Sorry, I'm being really bad about looking in the viewfinder today. But Alexander Dumas, Count of Monte Cristo. I initially saw the movie, fell in love with it. My dad was like, well, if you love the movie, you gotta read the book. I was like, I don't want to read the book. It's like a classic, so it's going to be really hard to read. And, you know, it does take some effort. It's not like a super easy read, but as far as classics go, which, like, that whole section of my shelf is classics, so I really like them. Like, I love Jane Austen and Pride and Prejudice, and I just love it. Except Victor Hugo. Not a fan of him. But, this one is good. Okay, so my memory card goes full. I had to adjust things, so it might be a little bit of a different camera angle. But I have such a cool bookshelf, but the way that it's set up is not the most like filming friendly. Like there's not, this is the only window, so this is kind of the angle, which is why I normally film in my office, but whatever. Maybe I'll do a bookshelf tour one of these days. Like those flowers were from my wedding, and these are Polaroids of my family. And anyway, I hope you liked that little insight. I will say, if I had to pick a fantasy book, it's like in a trunk with stuff on top of it now, but probably my favorite fantasy is Harry Potter, but no surprise there. Anyway, I'd love to hear what your favorite books are. I'm always on the hunt for new reads, so leave me a comment down below. Let me know what book I absolutely have to check out, and leave me a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!